Almost every BMW owner has had this happen to them. You open the door to your car, you try to roll the window up or down, but it doesn't move one bit. Instead, you just hear a metal grinding sound coming from the door panel. Well, today we'll be showing you how to replace your BMW's window regulator that's located behind the door panel. So the first thing we'll do is remove the wooden trim for whichever side the window's not rolling up or down. And now behind the wooden trim is going to be two T20 screws that secure the door panel to the actual metal door frame, located here and here. And so we'll simply insert our T20 screwdriver and loosen them counterclockwise until they can be removed by hand and placed aside. So there goes the first one, and the second one's located right here on the outside. Go ahead and loosen that one and remove it as well. And our third and final T20 screw is going to be located right here behind the pull handle. And as you can see, this one's in absolutely disgusting condition. This is actually very common that these BMW handles wear out like this. So be sure to hit the link below for the replacement handle that I used, along with a little discount code for you. But simply wedge your plastic pry tool underneath the bottom portion and then pop upwards until you have the handle removed. And now with all three of those screws in hand, we can actually start to pull off the door panel from the frame. And this is actually extremely easy. Just use that same plastic pry tool to wedge along the sides and bottom of the door panel, and the push clips that secure it should pop out of place. And now as you can see, the door panel is loosened, and now we can actually move up to the top, and we'll simply lift the door panel upwards while pulling outwards slightly. And that's going to release the leather panel from the metal clips located at the top of the frame. And now we're going to have two final connecting points. The first one's going to be this unlatched cable here that's connected to the inside handle. And all you're going to do is lift it up from the rear and pop it off just like that. And now we're going to have one wiring harness that's going to connect to the window regulator electrical switch that's in the interior. And all we're going to do is disconnect that electrical connector just like that. And now from here, our door panel's fully removed from the frame, and we can safely place it off to the side somewhere that it won't get scratched or damaged. And now to access the window regulator, we'll need to remove this black insulation foam right here. And all we're going to do is carefully pry up and lift it away from the adhesive, going bit by bit, ensuring we don't tear it. And you really want to be careful to go bit by bit, because if you just start pulling large sections of it, it will tear. And this is bad because we want to be able to reinstall it at the end of this process. And now you can leave the foam hanging at the bottom here. You don't have to fully remove it. That way we can simply lift it back up and replace it at the end. Or you can choose to actually remove the entire foam, whatever's best for you. But you can access the regulator and the window while keeping the foam still attached at the bottom portion. But as you can see, the window regulator motor is located right here. And upon inspection, we can easily see why my regulator failed. It's not the actual motor, but this metal cable here often goes bad on the regulator because it gets caught in the motor assembly itself, which doesn't allow the window to actually properly roll up and down. And now to make way for the regulator to be removed, we'll actually have to take out this black foam piece here, and it's simply held in by two Phillips screws. So all you're going to do is place your hand at the back of the foam so you can press it forward, and then simply just loosen both of those screws and remove them. But it really does help to have your hand placed in the back because it helps the screws come out easier. And now with both screws in hand, we can simply remove the black foam. Just go ahead and note the orientation of the foam so you're not fighting with it when it's time to reinstall. And since our window regulator is completely toast, we can simply lift up the window, and we want to go ahead and lift it about halfway up. That way we can access the actual latching point right here in the middle of the door frame where this cutout is. And so you'll have to push the window up a very specific height because you need to be able to feed a flathead screwdriver or a tool in there, because what we actually need to do is pop off the green latch from the window. And to do that, it's very simple. All we're going to do is grab that hand tool, whether it's a flathead or a Torx screwdriver, etc., and we're going to push the green latch inwards as we pull it upwards. And what that's going to do is pop it free from the circular cutout on the window. And what you can also do is pull the window forward and then pull the green latch backwards away from each other. And this will often have the same effect and will free the window up easily. Just be careful not to put too much force to where you crack the window. And you can see just like that, we've unlatched our window from the defective window regulator. And now from here, we'll have to pull the window all the way up and then keep it secured. So what we're going to do is grab our plastic pry tool and simply wedge it in between, or you can use a piece of duct tape, but a pry tool works just as well. And now from here, there's going to be one main electrical connector that connects to the regulator, and it's going to have a retention clip on the rear. So simply push in that clip and then you can unlatch the connector and disconnect power from the regulator. And now the final thing we need to do to actually remove it is loosen the 3 10mm nuts that are holding the regulator to the door frame. And so we have one at the bottom here, one in the middle, and then one at the top. Perfect. And now to remove the regulator, simply push it backwards against the door frame, and that'll free up the metal pins from the door frame so we can wiggle it out. And I find the best method to maneuver it out of the door frame is once you've pushed the regulator back, simply rotate it clockwise, and then you can tuck this portion of the regulator underneath the window, and then we can simply pull it free. And just like that, our old window regulator has been fully removed, and it really is in worn out condition. We can see that the plastic latch to the window is completely shot. It actually has a little bit of rusting in there as well. The metal cable that's supposed to provide tension, actually pull the window up and down, is completely ripped free and hanging. So that's why the window was simply not rolling up or down, was there was nothing to actually pull it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and transfer over the motor from our old one onto the new one. And so our window regulator motor is easily transferable. All we need to do is remove the 3 T25 retention screws. So there goes number 1, number 2, and number 3. And then we can simply pull the motor free. And it is quite dirty, but we'll go ahead and clean that up before we transfer it over. And you can see right here, this is the problem. Our metal cable is completely binded and has tore up in the actual rotating mechanism itself. So this thing is 100% completely shot. No wonder it wasn't working. And believe it or not, but this is actually extremely common. So let's go ahead and grab our brand new window regulator. Shout out to BavMods. They're the channel sponsor for today's video. And I'll be able to keep you guys posted in real time on the performance of this thing. But again, be sure to use my promo code in the description to save yourself some money off this product. And there's a new one taken out of the box, and yeah guys, looks great. Actually looks exactly like the OEM one that I pulled out. This thing's in brand new condition. All of the plastic components look premium, the metal feels sturdy, and the cable is fully tensioned and tight. So all we're going to do is grab our snippers and cut free the zip tie in the middle. And I did not expect this, but this part actually came pre-greased to eliminate wear once we transfer over our old motor. This grease is going to keep everything lubricated for years to come. So it's actually pretty great. 2 thumbs up from me. But now that it's time to transfer over the motor, we need to clean up all the gunk and dirt that's surrounding this inside gear. And now once that's done, go ahead and place the motor in this exact configuration where there's 2 screws on one side, 1 screw on the left. Make sure we line everything up, and then we'll start off hand tightening the motor into place. And as we're torquing, we want to be sure to go in a star pattern. So start with this screw here and then this one. That's going to help the motor secure on with even pressure and torque distribution. Perfect, guys. And just like that, our motor is now secure to the regulator and it's ready to be installed. But be sure you inspect it because you need to make sure it's completely flush. Sometimes it can feel like it's tight, but when you flip it around and look right here, you might see a gap. We want to be sure that on both sides there's no gap and it's completely seamless. That's how you know everything's fully installed properly, and we can reinstall this back into the vehicle. And now inserting this is basically the vice versa of removal. Just go ahead and dip down the left side first, and then once it's fully inserted in the bottom gap, just go ahead and twist it clockwise till it comes all the way around, and then get the top part of it and tuck it underneath the window, and then we'll be able to turn it back counterclockwise so it's fully standing up. And now we'll simply place our hand on the back of it, line up those 3 metal pegs that the 10mm nut secured onto, and then hand thread them back into place. And now we'll use a 10mm socket to hand tighten them. Again, we want to be sure to tighten them all bit by bit to spread out the torque. And after that's done, we'll use our ratchet and fully torque them down, just to be hand tight. Don't over torque them. We'll go ahead and reconnect the electrical harness until it fully slides and pops into place. And so first, go ahead and remove the pry tool or the tape that you used to hold the window up. And now from here, we need electrical power to actually activate the motor to lift the green bracket upward about halfway so we can join the window together and pop it back into place. And now that the green bracket can be seen through the cutout, we're simply going to lower the window down about halfway, until it lines up. And all we're going to do is pull the bottom part of the window towards us as we pull the green bracket backwards, and then hold the green bracket tight with one hand and push the window down, and it should snap into place. And our window is officially mated to the new regulator, and we're one step closer to being finished. And now from here, don't forget to reinstall the black foam block that we removed before. Remember the configuration of it, and then place one hand on the back side, push it towards you, and then we're going to hand tighten those 2 Phillips screws. And again, don't over torque them, we just need them hand tight. And now from here, we're going to scan the perimeter of the door frame. Make sure that there's no broken plastic push clips that are held into the frame, because if there are, we need to remove them now, because the push clips should be attached to the leather door panel. Otherwise, it's going to make install extremely difficult if they're already joined to the door. And this is a good time to inspect the push clips on the door panel, because oftentimes many of them will break or snap off. So it's highly recommended that you replace all of them, that way you get a factory flush fit and you don't have rattles from the door frame. And now from here, we're simply going to reattach the foam insulation pad back to the door frame, and just be sure you pull through the door handle cable and the wiring harness that connected to the interior switch that we disconnected at the beginning. And an extremely important tip is, once we're reinstalling the door panel, be sure to fold in the interior pull handle. Don't let it hang out, and keep it held in while we reclip in the door cable. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to open the door once it's all put back together. And also at the same time, make sure the pull cable is installed properly, so the black plastic portion should be latching onto the actual metal door mechanism. And then this white part at the bottom should look like this. And now we'll grab our little door pin here and then simply feed it through the top of the door panel. And the easiest way to do this is lift the door panel up and over those top metal clips, and then give a couple precise hits along the top, and it should latch down into place. And now we'll do the same exact thing along the perimeter of the door and punch those plastic clips into the actual door frame. Perfect. And now from here, we'll simply reinstall those 2 T20 screws that go underneath the wooden trim, and then the top one that goes underneath the interior pull handle. And again, just tighten these down as much as you can by hand without stripping them out. When you pull the door back and forth, there should be no play, and everything should be installed to factory spec. And just like that, our brand new window regulator is installed onto the vehicle, the door panel's put back together, and at the click of a button, our window's now rolling up and down again with no issues. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more helpful BMW videos like this one.